You aren't losing your edge. Your prefrontal cortex is literally starving for executive fuel. When decision fatigue sets in, your leadership doesn't falter, it collapses into reactive survival. That state, that erodes your professional identity. You wake up at 4 a.m., your mind already racing, the knot of unsafety in your stomach or chest. You're outwardly successful. You're managing a multi-million-dollar portfolio, leading massive teams, but internally, you're chronically dysregulated. You fear that if you stop, even for a second, that you'll disappear. Today, we're going beyond the basic productivity hacks, the mindset bullshit that you get taught. We're going to recalibrate your neurological baseline, and we're going to reclaim your internal authority. I'm Baz, I'm the nervous system architect, and I don't deal with information, I deal in transformation. Today we're going to talk about the end of self-estrangement and return into self. Before we do that, can you do me a favor and smash that like button, and if you really like the content, share it with a friend. It helps the channel grow, helps me give more content to more people just like yourself. So let's look at the hidden mechanics of cognitive erosion. What's actually happening in your brain to make you have poor choices at 4 p.m. It's not a character flaw, it's an energy crisis. At the pinnacle of your complex deliberation, the decision making sits in your prefrontal cortex, the executive control center of your brain. This is where your rational thinking, your planning, and your impulses control live. This is the seat of your sovereign leadership. But here's what they don't tell you in executive leadership seminars. Your prefrontal cortex runs on glucose. It requires an immense amount of metabolic energy. In the decision-dense environments of 2026, you're making thousands of micro choices before noon. Every pivot strategy, every team conflict you mediate, every risk you assess, it all drains that fuel, and the day wears on. A neurotransmitter called glutamate builds up in your synapses in high doses. It's a toxic. Your brain, in its infinite wisdom, tries to protect itself from its metabolic overload, shutting down the prefrontal cortex. This is what is called the silent collapse. You shift from being proactive, that choice, into reactive survival. Your brain begins to prioritize the path of least resistance over high value goals. You stop making the right decision and start making the easiest decisions. You snap at your team. You agree with the terms when you should renegotiate. You abandon your strategic vision for immediate relief. That isn't just feeling tired. This is a neurological breakdown of your sovereign leadership capacity. You know that thing that people pay you lots of money to do? That. What's really cool is high achieving women like yourself are incredibly adept at masking this collapse. You've learnt to succeed in survival mode. You use your anxiety as a propellant. You use your stress as a substitute for genuine energy. But it's not biologically sustainable. You are treating the neurological defect with more effort. You're trying to outwork a starving brain. And in doing so, you're committing the ultimate act of self-estrangement. You're separating your brilliant mind from the wisdom of your body. This is where my RAMS framework comes in. Specifically, the A in this, authenticity. You can't lead from authenticity if your nervous system is screaming, it's unsafe. You'll think your value is tied to your output. You think if you rest, you lose. I need to challenge that right now. This is the simpler way of a more powerful path. Yes, it requires stopping the glorification of exhaustion and starting the architecture of regulating your nervous system. How do we go from reactive survival mode back to sovereign leadership? Great question. I'm about to answer it. We don't do it with another time management app. Delete it. We do this by architecting the nervous system protocol. Step number 1, strategic fasting of decisions. You must audit your decision-making landscape. If a decision doesn't require your unique genius, delegate it or automate it. Stop bleeding glucose on low-impact choices. But you must protect your prefrontal cortex like the multi-million-dollar assets that it is. Number 2, the regulated pause. When you feel that shift, when you feel the anxiety spike and the path of least resistance looks very tempting, you must interrupt the pattern. You need a somatic reset. This isn't about deep breathing, it's about a signaling, a safety in your amygdala. So your prefrontal cortex can come back online. Step number 3, reclaiming your internal authority. This is mastery level. And this is where your true power doesn't come from relentless output. It comes from regulated stillness. When your nervous system is sovereign, your decisions are sharp, your boundaries are literally impenetrable, and your leadership is undeniable. You don't have to live in the 4 a.m. anxiety. You don't have to watch your leadership erode by about 4 p.m. every single day. If you are an exceptional leader, it is time your internal state matched your external success. This is the end of self-estrangement. This is your regulated return to yourself. If you're ready to stop performing and start architecting, if you're ready to claim your sovereignty, then I think it's time we had a conversation. It's time we worked together. Click on the link below, book your audit session with me, and see if you qualify. I'm Baz Porter. I build prestige architects, and I'll see you at the top.